Hello and welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. Thank you for joining us on the stream. If you're watching us on YouTube, wave everyone, just quickly wave. That's why they're here. That's why people are here. Hello, welcome. As I said, we're the Too Much Time on Our Hands team. We're going to be taking a look at pop culture Deathmatch. And we're going to be pitting characters from pop culture, video games, films, TV shows. We're going to put them together and see how they fare, or at least see how we think they fare. Anyway, let's do some introductions.
I'm sorry, Russ. I'm going to have to interrupt. Did Duncan just say fisting fights?
I think it's fisticuffs.
I think it's got to be like...
I think I was just hearing what I wanted to hear there.
I think the goal is like, it is like Celebrity Deathmatch, but it's characters rather than like actors.
Yes. And we have some doozies coming up. Yeah, some exciting ones.
Some doozers?
Some absolute doozies. Some of the doozers. Yeah, I know I've got so it's just a slight speech impediment. I can't pronounce O's. I just go ooh. So the doozers. Anyway, introductions. Hello, Russ.
I'd just taken a small drink and was incapable of talking.
Duncan, hello.
Good evening, afternoon, daytime to whenever you're listening to this, and if you're watching it, whenever. And hi, handies. I don't know why Dan does
hello,
that,
everyone.
But and hello, Tom.
Oh, thank you very much, Duncan. Hello, hello. Hello, Dan.
I'm going to knock you out. Mama said knock you out. Hi, Tom.
Hello, you're going to knock me off. A bit like, oof.
Nosh you off.
And nosh me off. And very kindly to the people that said hello to me as well. Hello, I am Tom. As I said, we're going to be doing pop culture character Deathmatch. We're going to be putting some characters together. If you're joining us on the stream on YouTube, thank you very much. If not, and if you're listening to us on one of the podcatchers or Spotify or SoundCloud or anything like that, thank you very much as well. Really appreciate it. Guys, shall we just dive on in?
Can I
stop doing this? I'm fucking hitting the mic, Barrett. Bang.
Can I just talk about what the inspiration for this is?
Oh, yeah, go on.
So this week, this Saturday, in fact, ungodly hour for most of us, or if you're an NFL fan, just when games start, we have Mike Tyson attempting to murder YouTube sensation Jake Paul. And I, for one, can't wait to see that happen.
Who is Jake Paul?
Oh, wow.
Logan Paul.
Really?
But also, Duncan.
I literally no idea.
Genuinely, I wish I didn't know who he was.
He is a fucking bellend. And so he's a YouTuber. Was it his brother who got in trouble for the Japanese forest thing?
Yeah,
if anything, both been in trouble for various dick moves.
Yeah. If anything, though, his brother is the one that's got the podcast and the Empire and all that sort of stuff.
Jake Paul's trying to make his way as like a YouTube boxer, basically.
Which isn't a thing.
It kind of is now, though, Russ. Because
he's not. Okay. He keeps talking about how he's a professional boxer. He's had one fight with someone younger than him.
He's won 6 times, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's won 6 times. Yeah,
he's won 6 times against people that are like 25 years older than him who are retired.
I mean, this is what's amazing.
On his side, I think he's a fucking cunt.
Yeah, this is what's so good. He's going up against Iron Mike, who even 30 years older than him.
I'm not saying I could beat him in a boxing match.
No,
but he's in no way a professional boxer.
I'm just saying, I think most of us are waiting for Mike Tyson to absolutely.
Dan shared a practice video. I don't know who this Jake Paul is, but he looks like a knob, and it was more that watching. I mean, obviously, I'm being influenced by D&D. Just watching Mike Tyson was like, he's a barbarian, and like he just goes berserk. That arm, the body armor of the people were wearing body armor whilst he was practicing, and they had to take a break. It wasn't Mike needing to take a break.
It's all a bit staged. Those open workouts are kind of a bit theatre.
Body armor, though. I mean, Mike Tyson wasn't holding back because there's nothing left there.
Punches in 1 second. I have never seen anything like that.
Also, this is quite serious. Jake doesn't understand that people with like dementia can get really violent, and that is what Tyson probably has. He's probably got some serious CTE. He just has no inhibition. So he's really going to get.
I saw a video earlier. He was on the William Shatner podcast, which is not something I knew existed.
It's fucking incredible.
Or something along those lines. And he started talking, and he started drifting off about like he goes, I don't like who I am when I'm before a fight. I have to like mentally change to be the person that's in the ring, and I don't like that person very much. And I'm like, fuck me, he's talking in the same way as a serial killer. Like he literally has to change to become a total psychopath before he gets in the ring. And as a result, he's not someone you want to be in a ring with. And
Doesn't it remind you of that Key and Peele sketch with the boxers?
Yes.
Before the fight.
100%.
Where one of them's like, we're going to go out there, we're going to have a great fight, it's going to be amazing. It goes over to the other guy, it's just like, I'm going to kill you in front of everyone who loved you.
I'm going to torture your body to purify your soul.
I am doing God's will. God, what? You
God's lessons are so beautiful. You said what? You're putting me there with an actual crazy person.
If you had Key and Peele reference in your TMTOH bingo card, stamp it now.
It's never far off.
It's because it's the best comedy of the last 20 years. We can do a Key and Peele episode at some point. But like, I'm with you, Russ. I do think it is a bit staged. But then,
of course, but like it's already, the amount of money they've made through pay-per-view subscriptions already is like $40 million. So
what I would ask Jake Paul is it worth dying for? Like, is it genuinely? So like, I agree. He's not really fought anyone of note, and I was talking to Brooke about this earlier. Like, I can't tell whether are his agents phoning professional boxers like world champions, and they're saying, "Fuck no, I don't want any part of this show." Or are they just not making that call because they know he'll get in the ring with someone that would easily destroy him? Or is it a case that the performative aspect of it is that before they go in the ring, like I'm pretty certain he did this with Floyd Mayweather, is it a case of let's just go in, punch each other a few times, dance around a bit, and we'll call it a draw at the end of the day?
I don't think Mike Tyson's ever going to let that opportunity
I can imagine him saying like,
so.
I will kill you after 4 rounds if that will help.
Yeah.
Instead of immediately. But
I mean, it genuinely might be.
He does lose most of his matches.
With Jake Paul, no, he's undefeated.
No, he's won 6. He's lost 1.
Oh, he's lost 1.
Yeah, he lost 1.
He does. Sorry, that was my. He does win most of his matches, but his matches are against people. I mean, like that. They're against people of a similar level to him, which is how it should be. Or they're people who used to be really good but retired 20 years ago.
Have you seen that one where he's in that Hearn, the promoter, and he's talking to him? He goes, "You're not a real boxer." And he goes, "You've never fought a world champion." And he goes, "I did. I fought Conor McGregor." And he goes, "Conor McGregor was a world champion in a different sport. It's not quite the same." Because he was a hell of a puncher. I'm like, that's true. Conor McGregor could punch someone very hard and in a very convincing manner, but it's still not boxing.
Boxing's all about working within that very particular rule set to score the points. Like, it's a very, very technical sport.
Didn't Conor McGregor also lose to a professional boxer?
Yeah.
It's a different sport.
He's not a boxer.
He was a mixed martial artist, wasn't he? Like an ultimate fighting.
But
it's like when rugby players have a go at NFL. They're good, but they're not going to make it onto a team.
Yeah.
It's just a different game.
Jordan Mailata. Anyway, but it's rare is the point. Yeah, and it's like LeBron had a go at playing like at practice, and at Dallas Cowboys practice had a go, and it's like he's a basketball player. He's an incredible basketball player, but he's not an NFL player. So yeah, it's. I think I would like to think Mike Tyson wouldn't bend over for this one. And that he's just going to go in all guns, Iron Mike. Yeah.
I did say, as you said, he mentally changes for the ring. Basically, he is a barbarian. You can say, no rage, don't rage. But like, what's the point? He's a barbarian. He's going to go in. He's going to rage. He might say, "I'll hold back." He's not going to hold back. He'll be in the zone. It's a persona, as you say. He does the thing.
Yeah.
And when he said it, it kind of shows because, like, you see him interviewed. He's quite like mild,
soft-spoken.
He's quite soft-spoken. He's quite humble in interviews as well.
Big Phil Collins fan,
Obviously, still got it.
Still got it.
It's just
I was going to say it does give me vibes of. Do you remember Ricky Gervais fighting Grant Bovey?
that's fucking yeah. Okay, a bit different. I would love to see Ricky Gervais in a ring with Mike Tyson. To be honest with you, but
Yeah, it's really bad actually because I used to be quite a fan of Ricky Gervais, and I admit some of his work is like seminal comedy, like it will always be great. But
he's
he
one of these
himself
people that
has
can't.
become such a tool bag.
Yeah.
He can't admit he's wrong. He's
No,
one
he
of these
can't
people.
admit he's wrong.
Yeah,
And he cannot stop going on. He's like literally one of the least humble celebrities I've ever met.
He
Ever met?
genuinely
Ever
believes
seen.
that he's smarter than most people,
yeah.
which, yeah, like
So troubling.
I kind of feel the same way. Obviously a lot of the stuff he's made is incredible, but what he's been, and also like his stand-up lately has just been nasty.
Dire.
Offensive for the sake of being
diatribe.
offensive
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
like
Yeah.
you're not. There's nothing.
There's
nothing big and clever about standing up in your Netflix special,
Yeah.
moaning about how the BBC won't give you a platform.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck
when
up.
you said he thinks he's smarter than everyone else, you followed it up immediately, Russ, by going, and I feel the same. And I thought you were going to say, I feel the same. I know how he feels. I mean,
It's a tough life being
I know
him.
what you
Yeah.
mean. You're like, no, you're
I
agreeing.
really feel the struggle.
The Office
of
is amazing.
Yeah, but
The straight
I was
white
about-
middle-aged man who thinks he's smarter than everyone else, and just for some reason the world just can't get on board with that.
I know. No one
But the
seems
thing
to
is,
get
Russ
it.
is smarter than
Russ is
most
smarter
people.
than most people. Yeah, Russ is smarter than most people on this podcast
It's just
stream
grey
right
hair.
now.
It just
like
gives you
on
that,
us.
gives you that vibe.
That's true.
So my first one is a 4-way fight to the death between the four of us.
Yeah.
The last remaining one is the winner.
Who do you think?
I don't know. I think I'd get a few hits in the first round, but I do run out of puff very quickly. So and eventually, it might be my theory with zombies as well. So I've never finished Resident Evil 7 for the very simple reason that I got to a bit I didn't like and just immediately went, "Fuck it, take me. I'm done. Let's just get
Which
this
bit
done."
was that?
It was the Marguerite bit where she's chasing you through the house.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that bit. I
And I
hate
was
that
just
bit.
like,
It's horrible.
"No, fuck it. I'm done. Just let's just call it a day." Yeah. So I think if it was like a 4-way fight to the death, I'd probably be like, I'll get a few hits in, see how I do, and then curl up in a ball and die.
I think it's misleading. I have quite skinny limbs. Like my arms and legs are quite skinny. I don't really have anything like in the way of like muscle or biceps or anything like that. That would really appeal. So I think I'd get some punches in, but I don't think any of you would register them, and I would shortly be. I don't know,
about half an hour in, after all of us are like the bruised,
We're
we
just all
turn
knackered.
and just go, "Are you serious about this?" Because
imagine this.
Because we've been exchanging Key and Peele quotes for the last 20 minutes of this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know the proper way to throw a punch.
yeah,
I know you don't put your thumb inside your fingers or you
Yeah,
just
don't
spray
put your
your
thumb
thumb.
inside.
But I like, do you hit them with like that bit? Do you hit them with that bit? I don't know.
I can tell you never hit them with just this bit because
No,
it
exactly.
really that's how you
Just
break
like
your hand.
Going down like that on them.
Well,
try
because
and-
I've done it twice where I've broken my hand by punching stupid things.
do we have to mention what you punched, Duncan?
I
I
don't
punched the
think
one
we're-
time I punched the floor and one time I punched someone in the face.
Yeah, there we go. That's better.
I did no damage to the nose, but I punched so badly that I just got all the pressure on the bridge of the nose and twisted my bone.
It's funny, really, because no
That's
fight
prob-
I've ever
Right
I've
there
ever-
is probably about the strongest point on someone's face, isn't
It
it?
was a really bad punch. My sister pissed herself laughing. She was like, "You don't know how to punch," and then she taught me. And I then punched the floor. Which do not punch the floor. The earth wins every time, whatever Chuck Norris says.
Yeah.
What
No
we say
fight
about
I've ever been in has involved throwing a punch. It has always been like one of those weird moments where you're like you find yourself grappling someone, like grappling them into a wall.
know,
like,
Yeah. And then you realise that you're kissing them, and then it's the
Yeah.
next morning.
yeah. It's the next morning. I've woken up in bed next to them. They've got terrible morning breath.
We shake
Yeah.
hands firmly,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
reads more about the whole
There is
thing.
always that thing, like, if
I
you're
have
the guy
given people
grappling,
black eyes.
if you're the other guy grappling the guy from behind,
Anger.
if things might lock in, and then suddenly you're just two guys, like having a quick bump, on the street, and like there's no fighting anymore.
Sorry, things might lock in.
Yeah.
Like two dogs and somebody has to get a bucket of water.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Have you seen the? It's like probably nearly.
I'm terribly sorry, old
nearly-
chap. I appear to have locked in.
We'll
We'll resume this. Dawn.
Yeah.
Should I keep it in or?
Yeah.
It's about 17 years old, but there used to be a funny video of British martial arts, which is windmilling, getting your keys in.
I don't want to see any Jackie Chan bollocks. I want to see some windmilling in. Got some keys, stick them in your fist, make them count. That's so good. England. Yeah, it's brilliant, that.
Nice.
Anyway, let's get on to the.
So, in the context of our deathmatch, what are the rules here? What sort of framework are we working on?
It's got to be an even match. So it's got to be someone that you think. So, for example, you couldn't have like Superman versus Del Boy, for example. Like that wouldn't be a fair fight. So, like, it's got to be like I think it's got to be a fair fight, unless you can explain why you think the other person. Everyone's got to be within a chance of winning, but winning could be a number of different ways. If that makes sense. It doesn't have to be like fisticuffs. It can be like any form of like fighting.
Yep. Okay, cool. Who wants to go first?
Mind. I've got one in the chamber.
Go on.
Go for it.
Lock and load.
James Bond versus Sterling Archer.
Oh, nice.
Sterling Archer.
Are we talking any particular Bond, or are we talking like the concept of Bond?
Yeah, the notion of Bond.
I feel like Sterling Archer would probably... Like, the Bond he would most like to fight and possibly interlock with would be, like, probably Roger Moore.
I was thinking exactly Roger. Yeah. Roger Moore is the one that, and interlock might stick for a while. I get the feeling.
Bit like when he meets Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what is the fight? Like, is it a physical fight, or is it just seeing who can? Because if it's the theory of Bond, Bond is an alcoholic, obviously, but so is Sterling Archer. So who drinks who under the table?
I think it's like the full Bond experience, okay, or the full Archer experience, roughly the same thing. So you're doing drinking. We're not going to have a fucking contest unless it's each other.
Unless
but
it's
we
just
will.
the tip.
Yeah, but I think it ends in a shootout.
In like an exploding villain's base, or maybe like a crashing airship or something.
Yeah, but I think
I've got one for this.
Yeah, I think it starts with them like sitting across the table playing some game whilst drinking, though.
Yeah. With obviously the.
Yeah.
I think I've got. I've got a series or two of Archer to watch. Actually, I need to get on those.
Love Archer.
I think what's the last one I saw? Was the Adventure Island one or the space one?
Oh, the space ones are some of my favorites.
I've seen those ones, but I don't think I know there's ones after that, and I haven't seen them.
There's got to be a lot of drinking. There's got to be. And it's got to be random cocktails like the Creme de Menthe Stingers and things like that. Like
yes,
they've got to be drinking in a snowbound chalet, like somewhere.
Bond. What? You're entering the danger zone.
Yeah. So I've
got one for this.
I think Archer's going to win this one because I think he will fight more dirty than Bond.
Yeah.
I think he might actually be a more seasoned alcoholic than Bond as well. And I think
he's a better shot.
He is. The thing about Archer is he is remarkably good at what he does. He's just irritating as fuck.
Yeah, part of what makes him irritating is that he is good at what he does.
He backs it up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He can also take a hell of a lot of damage. Like you've seen Archer take a lot of punishment. He's withstood torture several times as well. and still has the same attitude, apart from coughing blood up or whatever, dragging himself along with like broken legs and things. Like he can shrug off quite a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Whereas you've seen that Bond is, even in the sort of the original films, like up to the sort of Daniel Craig more gritty era, Bond would get shot and he would experience the damage of it, to a point. Bond wasn't invulnerable. I think that was what people always liked about him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think Sterling Archer, I think edges this out.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
you prefer the edging
ways. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the edging, the locking in.
That being said, I think Mallory is 100% sleeping with Bond. Like, while this is all
if it's Roger Moore, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a fair amount of glue drinking and cocaine usage and yeah. I mean, that whole series where they're running a fucking cocaine empire from that mansion.
So good.
It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre, but it kills me. Absolutely slays me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Nice.
I've got an interesting one here that was suggested by my wife. My wife. Scooby-Doo versus Garfield.
Fuck yes,
Ooh.
I'm in. Do you know what I like about this? Low-hanging fruit would have been Heathcliff versus Garfield.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is good. This is Scooby-Doo versus Garfield.
Yep.
Now, Scooby-Doo... Now, Garfield is an expert... I'm in. Let's go, by the way. Garfield is an expert at dispatching dogs.
Yes.
Okay, how many times has he got rid of Odie?
So many times.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's easy to trap Scooby. We know this. Scooby's been trapped before. Didn't have a Scooby.
Yeah.
Or the weakness is going to be... The fight is going to be at an all-you-can-eat buffet. An Italian all-you-can-eat buffet. Because over
Garfield
lasagna.
loves lasagna.
Yeah, but Scooby-Doo wouldn't agree to that.
Well, it depends how many Scooby snacks he's had.
You do know Scooby is well known for fighting through queues to get to food. He just kicks people out of the way. But physicality-wise, Scooby wins. Garfield is far more cunning, and therefore Scooby is off to Timbuktu.
Although Scooby-Doo does have the gut instinct factor. Whenever danger rears its ugly head, it's only a millisecond before he and Shaggy scream "Zoinks!" and are out of there. So I think his reflexes, even if he has had a lot of Scooby snacks, is they're pretty on point. I think he's out of there.
Okay, I agree. We are ignoring the fact that Scooby is a lot bigger than Garfield, though.
Well, Duncan did say that he's got the physicality edge.
Does he have any backup here? Are his team involved at all, or is this one-on-one?
Do you mean, does Garfield have Odie with him, and does Scooby have Scrappy-Doo? Because if you bring Scrappy-Doo into the
and the whole gang, potentially.
Oh, you mean I can't remember what they're called.
The mystery
machine. That's the name of
the mystery machine.
Do they call themselves the Scooby Gang, or is that what they call themselves?
They might be the Scooby Gang. Yeah, name themselves after the dog. Why not? That makes sense.
Yep, like the mascot.
Yep.
What's it? Garfield and Friends, isn't it? Is the which is I think quite good.
Oh, I used to love that show.
I think at most they might have a tag. They might have a tag team. I think Garfield might. Oh well, actually, to be fair, do you think Garfield would have? Because if Garfield brings Nermal, the little kitten, Nermal is an evil genius.
True.
Evil genius Nermal against Scrappy Doo. If they tag them in, I don't know.
I think Scrappy Doo ends up in a hot pot and is just boiled alive.
And Nermal just shrugging, going, "Oh, I got him." Don't know. Spelling link.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Garfield.
cats are inherently more evil. They might have a daft moment, but they do also. Garfield can just wait until Scooby is eating and just look at the camera, and something big and heavy falls down onto Scooby's head, crushing his skull. That's the end of Scooby-Doo.
Scooby, where are you? 6 feet under, mate. That's where he is.
In the fucking oven.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Korean.
Korean.
Chinese, I don't know.
Nice one. All right.
Also, people eat dogs.
Duncan,
Jesus,
Russ?
Duncan.
No, they don't.
No one eats dogs, Duncan.
Okay.
Fucking hell. How
Duncan
many of those
Ru-
wines have you had?
Okay, well, right. Russ. So you crack on. What's yours?
Okay, so I feel it's all been a little bit serious and sort of genuine, test of pugilistic arts so far. It's all been very, very straight laced and by the books. So to get a little bit of razzmatazz for the cameras,
Right.
in the red corner is Baby Yoda, and in the blue corner,
Blue
100
what?
the blue corner, 150 porgs.
That's a rumble, mate.
It looks like everyone's eating pork that night. Unless you mean like
So this
women
is
with-
this
with-
is like
with bottoms.
force enabled Baby Yoda. He's got his skills at this point, but remember he still gets tired very quickly. And when he gets tired, he will fall asleep no matter where he is.
Yeah, do you know? But he has one overriding characteristic that it overrides his sleepiness. It's his hunger.
It's his hunger, and
He's
porgs
going
do
to
look
want to eat
delicious.
every one of those porgs.
Yeah,
I mean, we've all wanted to eat a porg, haven't we?
there's strictly no external interference in
one.
this, so Mando can't just come and like flamethrower all the porgs at once.
You sure? Because I'm pretty sure flamed porg will be a delicacy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty certain porgs love Mando as well. Who doesn't love a porg?
they're going to get a porg into the next series of the Mandalorian, aren't they?
Oh, I think they've had a few, haven't they?
Have they had porgs in Mandalorian? They haven't, have they?
No, I'm thinking of a different porg.
You've been watching lots of Porg.
No, I've been just documentaries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, that porgs, they will definitely get a porg into Mandalorian at some point.
Hardcore porg.
Yeah.
Because they look quite scrappy, the porgs.
Do they?
Well, they're kind of tough, like
So
island
they've got
birds,
teeth.
aren't they?
A group of
they've got
porgs
sharp beaks.
sit there watching Chewie eating what is
That's
probably
Chewie.
their mum.
Chewie is 12 foot tall and could quite clearly fuck them all up. But this is Baby Yoda we're talking about.
Baby Yoda's got Mando out of some scraps though.
Yeah, but he can kind of do it once, but then he's exhausted.
I think he's going to do one massive, great big force push, and throw all those porgs around like skittles. I think a force-enabled Baby Yoda, no matter how many porgs you put in front of him, like he's just they're porgs. They're just gone. I feel really sorry for those poor liquidized porgs.
I think it won't be fun to watch because I think it will be a bloodbath. And there will be
Yeah.
Baby Yoda having a little snooze
Yeah.
on a pile of dead porgs.
It would go
Just loads
from
of people in the crowd
cute
going
to
Yeah.
really quite disturbing very quickly, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think Yoda, Baby Yoda would kill them. Think of all those eggs he ate,
Picture him,
remember?
like force choking a porg.
Yeah.
His little head pops
just
off.
Did he kill one of the spiders as well when they were in the ice spider
Did, yeah.
thing?
Pretty certain,
Didn't
yeah.
he? Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong. That's the
What
shit
do you-
I will watch.
What I wanted to, as soon as I saw a cooked porg, I wanted to try a cooked porg because
Yeah,
it did look quite succulent and juicy meat.
Can't deny the fact that I have thought about what they would be like to eat. Yes,
I
I don't
think,
think, like, if
This is
they,
me.
presuming that they have like a mainly fish-based diet, I can't
Yeah.
imagine they'd be that nice to eat.
Well, exactly. Having probably been one of the only people around this table to have eaten a penguin, I imagine that it's probably the same taste as a penguin.
How was that?
catch up with that
Fishy.
afterwards.
Because
Yeah,
most,
no, I'm joking. Of course, I haven't fucking eaten a penguin. That's
The little
ridiculous.
chocolate bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pick up a penguin.
Yeah.
No. I imagine they're
one
sort
of the
of like
special safari cruises.
yeah, exactly. No. It was just up a whipsnade. I would just leant over, put one in my jacket, took it home.
Someone did that, didn't they? Is that
No,
but that must be
I tell the story because I think there are so many people who tell the story of their mate who nicked a penguin from
yeah,
Whipsnade Zoo
which
and
is
kept him
clearly
under his
fucking
bed.
bullshit.
Yeah, of
right?
course
Well,
it's fucking
yeah,
bullshit.
if you look at any like news sources, it quite clearly never happened.
Just someone, yeah.
Penguins are vicious.
Yeah, they're quite
Yeah.
tough, aren't they?
They will
But
give
the
you.
story is that they kept a penguin
If you wrap
in
them up in a
bathtub, isn't it?
pillowcase, they're not.
I was reading a book to my son about like various people, and there was a chapter on Banksy, and he was very taken with the story about how he climbed into the penguin enclosure at London Zoo and sprayed "We're bored of fish" on the inside of their enclosure as
That is
one of his
funny.
early works. Yeah, my son was very
Vinny
taken with that.
Vinny is a big fan of that moment in The Simpsons where Lisa pokes her head into the penguin enclosure after being told that they don't fly, only to see all the penguins flying around their enclosure. And then as soon as they notice she's watching, they all land and look shifty. And yeah, it's one of my favourite bits. But I imagine that a porg would taste kind of like oily mackerel.
Yeah, I don't think that'd actually be very nice if you're really
It
exploiting.
looks so much nicer though.
But
I mean,
in
I'm not
your
denying
head, you're
it'd be
probably
good for you.
thinking like maybe like a guinea fowl or something. Probably something a bit gamier than chicken.
Yeah, like mainly
Maybe
dark meat,
pheasant
if
or
you know what I
something.
mean.
But
Like,
Imagine
the-
they taste like puffin.
This
A
is
bit like
again, that's
yeah, probably.
not a reference
Or-
that I've got to hand.
Or
Unfortunately,
gannet, like gougers, which were meant to be a bit fishy in flavour.
yeah.
Quite
Puffins were the
salty.
ones that people wanted to eat, so they called them fish, right?
Oh, that was all birds that lived
Really?
in water. Yeah,
Serious?
ducks were
Oh.
fish.
Oh my God.
We've established this rule. If it's in the fucking sea and it's got flippers, it's fucking fish.
If it's a duck, it's
I
a
don't care
fish.
what temperature its blood is. It's a fucking fish.
Yeah.
Um,
Getting
uh,
eaten with some chips.
Actually,
People
ant
go, "Ooh,
fillet-
whales are mammals." No, they're not.
Are you
They're fucking fish.
are you ready? Actually,
Actually,
tuna have
Duncan.
are warm-blooded.
Hmm?
Fish
They
are
generate
warm-blooded,
enough-
are they?
Tuna.
Didn't
Tuna.
ask if it was
Some-
warm blooded. If it's in the fucking sea and it's got fucking fins, fucking fish.
Yeah,
Which
fine.
means a bit
Whatever.
of salt and
To-
vinegar, pickled onion, some
Look,
chips,
there's,
mashed peas.
there's an entire podcast called "There is no such thing as a fish," which is kind of true because to be a fish is just a lifestyle. It's just
Such
like
great
it's a
statement
trait.
without meaning anything at all.
Yeah,
being
but
a
like
fish is
to
kind
be a
of
tree,
it's more of a lifestyle.
like to be a tree is just a lifestyle choice.
Mm-hmm.
Most trees aren't related at all to each other. Like
So being a
some
tree is
species
a
of tree-
lifestyle.
Yeah, so to bark up is just like a life strategy, maybe lifestyle. So life strategy. Like to bark up, some trees, some plants go, will form bark, and others don't. Like most trees are highly phonetic? Well, okay, I don't know.
So they're not actually related to each other.
To each other, no.
Yeah.
It's just to become a tree has arisen so many times independently within the plant kingdom. It's just like we'll just do it. It's quite a good idea. Science,
Fascinating.
bitches.
So, next Celebrity Royal Rumble, fish versus tree. Turns out neither one of them actually exist. They're just a life strategy.
Who would
Yeah.
have thought they're just all cunts?
Yeah, which is obviously the end of that argument. They're just a pair of cunts, just lumping the shit out of each other with toffee hammers. And that's it. It's the end. Okay.
Who's next in the ring after we've
on that?
scraped out all the massacred porgs?
Yeah. The
I laughed
liquidized
at that
pork.
one quite as much as I did, but I did.
Duncan, your go, my friend.
I don't know how to follow that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that one came from nowhere, and I appreciated it.
It's just, I mean, I've been listening to Andy Serkis reading Lord of the Rings, and it's one of the best things I think, life choices I've ever made. So this is quite Lord of the Rings influenced. I've decided on Gandalf the White versus Lord Voldemort.
Gandalf.
Just Yeah,
Gandalf would
100%.
fuck him up.
Yeah, that is because Lord Voldemort gets killed by kids.
Exactly. The other one was Gandalf the White versus Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So,
I actually,
like Gandalf is sort of a god, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or an
he's an
angel.
angel.
Like I think he's kind of the fuckest uppest when it comes to the grizzly old men with staffs.
Yeah, see, I started going through this. I was like, Gandalf versus like even Darth Vader. I was like, he's gonna win.
Yeah,
Like he's
Gandalf
just
would beat Darth Vader.
and even the Emperor because it's like a lightning. It's like, well, I've got my staff. Boom, if I can deal with that. I'm like, I've got the Ring of Fire. Boosh. You're sounding like Ricky Gervais. Boosh. It's a bad thing. Yeah. All right, that was boring. Sorry, guys. I disappoint you
No, like
again.
I'd like to see it happening.
Yeah,
because he doesn't, he doesn't look, he doesn't wear his power openly, does he? He's quite
no.
He's quite sort of modest about the whole thing, whereas Voldemort's giving a whole all the time, and generally being a bit extra about everything.
He is, yeah.
But Gandalf has morals.
Yeah.
Voldemort doesn't.
Yeah. So Voldemort can be an underhanded little shit and fight unfairly.
I don't think Gandalf necessarily fights fairly. I think he's got morals, but I don't think that
Yeah,
I mean, he was just
pulls some
like
pretty vicious moves when they're having the granddad on granddad slap fight with Saruman, doesn't he?
also it's like Voldemort has no morals, and that goes against everything that Gandalf stands for, and therefore Gandalf will just wipe the floor.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think if Voldemort turned around and fought a Balrog, for example, I think the Balrog probably just stamps on him. Whereas I think, I'll be honest, I think it's because I think Lord of the Rings is much better than Harry Potter.
Well, it is.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
You just don't see a situation where Gandalf the White loses purely because he's a better example of wizard lore.
Well, there's actually very limited magic used in Lord of the Rings. Someone's
There
pointed
is.
this out. There's like a couple of occasions, and that's it.
Is the Balrog fight one of them?
Yeah. The other one is fireworks.
Yeah.
Hide!
Well.
Run! A Balrog has come!
Come on, kick him in the arse. You shall not fuck with me.
I think it's a great battle, by the way. I do want to stress that is a really, really fun battle. But I don't know. Does any of Voldemort's magic shit work on Gandalf?
Well, maybe a Davra Kedavra, but I think he can counterspell that.
That's magic. Yeah, I think you're right as well. His little staff.
Because he'll just like
His little staff.
Harry just went Expelliarmus and Voldemort lost. So he loses his wand really easily.
Yeah.
We know that Gandalf's got a big staff and just goes. Gandalf made weapons too hot to handle.
Yeah.
And he was like, boom, you're disarmed. And he can deflect things. And he's like, get out of my face.
Yeah.
Go back to the pit where you could, whence came.
Yeah.
He can also catch a bolt of lightning on his sword and then stab it into a Balrog's heart.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
What about Gandalf the White versus Tim the Enchanter?
See that's much more equal power levels there, isn't it?
You know what I mean? That's we're getting up there now, aren't we? Tim the Enchanter. Yeah.
I think Gandalf's very, very powerful. I'm trying to think of who would be on Gandalf's level.
Well, technically Sauron, but
yeah.
But Sauron. Sauron.
Sauron is a slightly higher. If you're getting geeky, Sauron would technically be a higher angel, fallen angel, than Gandalf.
Yeah.
But I was originally I was trying to think of who to match up against Sauron, and I couldn't.
You could do, and this is very nerdy, you could do the Emperor of Mankind versus Sauron.
Yeah.
That being said, the Emperor of
That's
Mankind
interesting.
gets his ass whipped by his own son, so I don't know. Um, that's not quite how it goes, I know, but like it's that I think they are a similar power level. The Emperor's like King rock hard. So yeah, maybe. And I
But
think
I guess
Sauron
with all the
is.
mind fucking and the
Yeah.
psycho abilities and
Which is just magic. So
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
They probably would both get their magic from the warp as well, let's be honest. So
So what about the
Well,
Emperor from Star Wars versus the Emperor of Mankind?
no, the Emperor of Mankind wipes the floor with him. I don't think it's close.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think like
It's just a flattening.
I mean, but just yeah.
I'd love to see that.
I think the
it
Emperor of
would be
Mankind's
hilarious.
Jedi mind tricks outdo the Emperor. I think that he can't. Part of what makes the Emperor so powerful is how manipulative he is, and how he uses like his essentially dark magic to get him where he gets.
Yeah.
It's less about the forced lightning and the throwing people around, and that's part of what annoyed me about Revenge of the Sith is that I never saw him as like a duelist. I saw him as like his magic power was he can bend people to do
Yeah,
whatever
it
they
shouldn't
want.
be that like he's better
Yeah,
at beating people up.
yeah,
It's yeah, he's a politician.
The whole thing
yeah.
was building up that he could manipulate and twist everything round.
If
Whereas,
if you're saying him or Horus though, him because
I, I,
Horus.
I always think though that really undermines everything that Sidious has managed to achieve
Oh,
up to
it's
the
incredibly
point at the end
impressive.
of the. I mean, the Sith Grand Master Plan that has been in the works for over 1,000 years
Hmm,
is coming to fruition because of Sidious,
hmm,
and it eventually succeeds. In the like almost complete decimation of the Jedi, the complete subjugation of the entire Republic, and reorganization into
yeah.
an empire. Like he has that power. He that is his magic power. He basically created a false war that tore the galaxy to pieces and allowed him to just kind of step in at the end and
only
claim
to be
victory. And yeah, man,
only to be,
unlimited power.
only
And
to be assimilated by the Emperor of Mankind with all the dirty Xenos,
yeah, then to be
eradicated.
planned by. I guess that's the point. Is
It's
that
different scales.
is that both have managed to subjugate the galaxy through their manipulative power. So actually, I think it would end up then coming down to, like you say, it's the magic, like
Hmm.
it's the raw ability, which I feel like the Emperor of Mankind would probably win.
He's essentially a god. So like there are probably like old Sith and Jedi in the Star Wars universe that could probably have a decent shout against him. By the way, apparently we're getting another three of those fucking Skywalker films. Um,
They keep
No, I don't
saying,
think we
"Oh, there's
are.
this coming,
we
there's
are
this
this,
coming," until
yeah.
it's like on TV. I don't believe it.
But on the plus side, we're getting season 2 of Andor, and that definitely is happening.
Which is
And
how it,
I'm
and it looks
very
like
excited.
Orson Krennic is going to be in it as well.
Oh,
There's
I'm in.
Empire have got a cover that's got Director Krennic on
Be
Good.
it.
careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director Krennic.
I quite like the Vader tells bad jokes. Like Vader has so much more personality than Anakin Skywalker. Like he Anakin wouldn't tell bad jokes like that. He'll
Yeah,
say
he
things like, "This
does.
is where the fun begins."
He said,
He, yeah.
what do you call this? Aggressive, was it? Can't remember. No, I call it aggressive negotiations. He's able to
And
do a bit of backs and forwards.
but it's not quite choke on your aspirations level.
No, but then that's because he's being written by fucking George Lucas and stuff in those ones, whereas he's being written by whoever genius it was that wrote the fucking script for Rogue One, who is
About
better than
20
George
people.
Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just goes to show when you get 20 good writers in a room, they come up with a script like Rogue One. When you put George Lucas in front of an empty sheet of paper, you get Revenge of the Sith. Um,
I would thoroughly recommend going to see. I'd thoroughly recommend going to see Heretic if you get a chance. It is my film of the year. It is fucking incredible. And it's worth going to see just to see Hugh Grant do his Jar Jar Binks impression. and it's fucking awful, but it works so well in the film. Jar Jar, Jar Jar, Sir Jar Jar. It is so funny. It's intentionally. I'd like to think it's intentionally bad.
I'm noticing we've probably only got about 15 minutes before we need to skedoodle off. Should we do some quick fires?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who's going first?
All right,
oh, okay.
I thought you were going to start.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So who do I have there? I've got. I know they might not be pop culture, like they're not fictional. Paul Hollywood versus Gordon Ramsay. So I'd really like to see that.
I think Gordon Ramsay.
No, I think Ramsay's a pussy. Like I think
he's all talk.
It's all front. Yeah,
it's all front.
Hollywood's got some fucking bulk behind him.
Yeah. And also, I kind of...
Hollywood's also northern. Oh, no, but so is Ramsay. Ramsay's Glasgow. No, Ramsay.
No, but
he's not proper.
He's not Glasgow anymore, is he?
No.
Oh my God! Just hit me in the face, Paul.
Yeah. And he fucking would as well. I think Hollywood would knock him out.
Yeah.
Hollywood's going to leave him on the floor and then
Paul
shake
Hollywood's
his hand.
episode of Off Menu, and he actually came across as quite likable.
He strikes me as being quite normal.
Who, Paul Hollywood?
Paul Hollywood. For a guy who's
he was recently complaining about people moaning about how often he landed his helicopter on his lawn or something like that.
Oh, maybe not.
That was it.
Sounds like
moaning,
a bit of a cunt.
He was complaining about people posting photos of his helicopter because they could trace the registration number.
That's much better. Sorry, I take it all back.
Yeah.
I wish people would stop taking pictures of my bloody helicopter.
What are they going to do with his registration details for his fucking helicopter?
It's freely available information anyway.
Yeah.
You can find it all out on the Civil Aviation Authority's website.
Which will only tell you that it's registered to someone and that where it's housed, birthed.
Yeah,
well, I mean, if you're a particularly rabid Paul Hollywood fan, you can track him on flight radar and stuff like that. But,
here's an idea: don't take a fucking helicopter then.
Well, or just rent one. Don't buy your own one and register it.
And this is the point. No one knew he was riding around in a helicopter until he went, I really wish people would stop following me around when I'm riding in my bloody helicopter. And everyone went, what? Paul Hollywood's got a helicopter? Oh, shit, I better go to Sywell Airfield and have a wait around and see if fucking Paul Hollywood's helicopter... Imagine that. That's like, maybe, I can just imagine it as like a superhero thing. We better wait for Paul Hollywood's helicopter to get here until we can rescue the people at the top of the building. What?
Where does he need to be so fucking urgently that he needs a helicopter?
The Bake-Off tent.
All these natural disasters that he's saving the world from. Don't worry, Paul Hollywood's helicopter will be here. He'll sort out the crisis.
So, anyone watching current Bake-Off?
No,
I'm not into it. It's lost.
No, me neither. It's almost like I wasn't into the other 50 series they've been a bit as well.
Tell you what I am watching at the moment, which is fucking spectacular, is Rivals.
Rivals is fucking great. I've watched the whole thing. Yes, Russ.
Incredible. It's so good.
It's worth it to see Danny Dyer in that wig.
Danny Dyer is amazing in it. He's really good.
He's really like
the whole thing is 10 out of 10. Chef's kiss. Could not be done better. I watched fucking spectacular.
Russ, I haven't watched The Penguin. I haven't watched Agatha All Along. I've watched all of Rivals though.
We're on the last but one episode. I'll be delighted to hear that you're into Rivals.
Who's your favourite? I think I'm meeting her for coffee tomorrow, so we'll talk about them. But yeah, sorry guys, don't trace us from my helicopter. Fucking Paul Hollywood cunt.
And it's all over. Like, I mean, obviously, you know who the baddie is because he's called Baddingham.
Lord Baddingham, no less, and he wanders around with a cigar.
Yeah, and then like the other guy is just sort of flip flops between being the world's biggest shit and a really great guy.
Sometimes he's okay, and sometimes he's a fucking Tory. So yeah, like it's really watchable. I was 100% invested in their campaign to get the conglomerate for Southwest Television or whatever it is they're fucking doing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that. You're like, oh yeah, ITV used to be like there was Carlton and
for the 6 people that watch it in that fucking region. Yes,
is that SWTV?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yes,
SWT.
But it's
all based around like argy bargy around a regional ITV franchise bidding war. which isn't like it's not the sexiest of backdrops.
No.
What's it on?
It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
How is it?
It's got a lot of asses in it for something on Disney
Oh my
Plus.
god, yeah, and some boobies, and some willies.
No.
It's quite raunchy.
I mean,
it's a Ginny Cooper novel.
Genuine.
I've heard all of Emily
recommendation.
Attack's interviews have been quite revealing.
She's very funny in it.
She's
good.
really good in it with Verica. That's the guy's name that she does the show with.
Who is
actually,
like
but
Alan Partridge if he was a real person who really took himself seriously in the 80s.
He reminded me of who was the guy who used to do Good Morning Britain? Oh, Richard
Madeley.
Yeah, it reminded me a bit of him.
Richard Madeley.
Yeah. So like it is. Oh, that makes total sense as well. Yeah. Anyway, it's really watchable.
Yeah,
that's why I watched it.
Watch it. It's good. Within the first like 20 seconds, somebody's fucking in the Concorde toilets. It's really good.
It's so 80s, and it just really plays into it as well. It's really good. The soundtrack's amazing as well.
I mean, movie watching.
Right. So, death matches. I would like the fake hitman from Hitman, who is a phony at his job but turns out to be actually quite good at it, versus Statham's character from Spy, who is really a spy but is absolutely shit at it.
I love it. So you've seen Hitman then?
Yeah. Yes.
It's great, right?
It's very good, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that film, yeah. I would lay myself in a puddle for that, man.
So you are not at all answering the question. You're just saying that you want Glenn Powell to do things to you.
Yeah.
That's a valid answer.
It is. He is a very good-looking man. But then there's Statham as well. And I love him
So you
too.
just want to be double-teamed?
I'll just be like, oh
Just
no, guys,
flinging yourself into the middle.
Oh,
Oh, I happen to have fallen onto all fours between the pair of you.
interlocked.
Yeah.
Shall I just leave it in?
Click.
Okay, so
no,
that one ends up in a draw because
Guys, stop fighting over me.
Dan's just sort of wedged in the middle and apparently unable to move.
Yeah.
And then if we're just rattling through these quickly, my other suggestions would have been Link and Gordon Freeman in a freestyle rap battle.
How's that? Okay. I thought it was meant to be a death match.
No, it's just any sort
that's
of
fine,
combat. But of course, it would mean that they would have to talk at some point.
I'm going to give it to Gordon Freeman just lumping the shit out of Link with a fucking crowbar.
But you wouldn't get any points in a rap
man.
battle for that.
Yeah, true. Unless he's doing it in time with the backing drum beat.
I got one. I know how it ends as well. It's Captain Titus from Space Marine 2 versus Master Chief. And it ends with Master Chief begging for his life.
Yeah, that's the problem with the 40k stuff. It's just like it would like it's on like another order of magnitude.
It's crazy.
All other pop culture.
But there is a comparison between Spartans and Space Marines. But Space Marines they're just overpowered.
Yeah.
Like
Master Chief has luck though. A lot of luck. That's like his magic power is luck.
it depends where it takes place then, because if it takes place in the Halo universe, that's great. It takes place in the 40k universe, luck doesn't exist.
Yeah,
and also,
if he repented and begged to the Emperor, maybe he stands a chance.
No, because he's also he's going to be hunted by the Adeptus Mechanicus because he's got Cortana, and AI is forbidden.
Yeah, that's absolutely not allowed.
Abominable intelligence.
So he's basically a heretic.
A space like the entirety of the Covenant War, the Halo installations, the Flood. That's just Tuesday to a Space Marine.
Yeah,
that's like a nothing particularly happened today kind of an incident.
Yeah. I don't know. The Flood are very Tyranid like. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Commander.
But let's the Flood versus the Tyranids.
Yeah.
Tyranids would just eat them all.
Yeah. Commander Shepard.
Yeah.
Versus Commander Riker.
I mean, yes.
Commander Riker's beard wins that
sexy battle.
I saw
in the holodeck
interview with Katie Sackhoff and Jonathan Frakes, and he said Will Frakes. Will is his character name, and it's and they're talking about the weirdest things they've signed, and Kate Sackhoff said a boob, and he was just like, yeah, me too. I'm like, Riker signed many boobs, I'm pretty certain, but he said the weirdest thing he signed was prosthetic leg. Someone just dumped it on the table and said, "Can you sign this, please?" Nice. He went, yeah, sure. Thinking this is amazing, turned it over and he said LeVar Burton's signature was on the other side. I can't believe LeVar got here before I did.
Yeah, that's so good.
Shepard wins, by the way.
Shepard wins on that one.
But he never said what battle, even in a sexy battle.
Yeah,
if it's like female Shepard, then Riker would be trying to come up with some sort of witty repartee, and she'd just punch him in the fucking face.
Yeah, and then disappear off to hoover up all the sausage. Like she's just amazing.
I think we found out how Tom plays Mass Effect.
Oh, mate, there's nothing I enjoy more than playing a femshep falling in love with Garrus. That is my absolute favourite.
Classic.
Do you know?
It's absolutely amazing. I love it.
So I never played Mass Effect as much as you guys. I did play a bit, but on the Facebook, you get all the streams. I get a lot of comics, and a lot of them are based around Mass Effect and all about female Shep and Garrett.
Yeah,
and it's hilarious. It's great.
Aliens. I always preferred. What's his name? The sexy lizard assassin.
Oh yes.
With
the amazing voice.
Slane. Slane.
That's not his name.
What's
his son is Colliet, and he is.
What's his name?
It's TH something, isn't it?
Thane.
Yeah.
Slane's the fucking barbarian from 2000 AD, isn't he?
Yeah.
Thane is probably my favourite alien.
Except
I'm Tarly all the way. I'm normally pretty loyal.
Yeah.
I do like the male Shep Tarly romance, but there is something about Fem Shep finding solace in Garrus.
Yeah. Except when he's got his calibrations to do.
Except when he has calibrations to do, which seems to be all the fucking time.
Which is 70% of the fucking game.
Yeah. When are you going to ask me how I am? Like, rather than... You always want the calibrations. I've lost in your hobby hole. I have to ask this because my son came up with this one and I couldn't stop laughing when he said it. Ian Malcolm versus Admiral Akbar.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, you can't not say this at some point tonight.
That's incredible. So, like,
well
obviously, I mean, Akbar is a military man. He's an admiral, but I don't know. Like, he's a high-ranking fleet officer. He's not like a scrapper.
Not? He's not Australian.
That's true. He's not Australian.
Fucking Sam Neill comes in.
No, Ian Malcolm.
Oh, Ian Malcolm. Oh,
Ian
sorry.
Malcolm
I'm with you
is
now.
Jeff Goldblum.
It's Jeff Goldblum.
My bad, yeah. Oh, then yeah.
Who is a sexy mathematician.
There we go. Like, there's no trap. Like, Ian Malcolm's just gonna. I think just.
No, there is a trap.
Gonna get
thirst trap.
It's when he undoes another button.
Lying there with his shirt open and panting.
The trap is his chest hair.
Thirst trap.
But I just thought that was so funny because Vinny said something along the lines of Ian Malcolm would just say something like, life finds a way, and before Admiral Akbar can say it's a trap, he'd already have knocked him out.
Just say life finds a way, then sneak up and punch the fish in the gills.
Yeah, and then just done. Like,
I can't see any other way that would pan out. Yeah,
exactly.
I love it. That's the best one so far. It's so good.
Yeah, my wife and my son came up with some good.
Some absolute belters. Yeah, I love the Garfield and Scooby Doo one as well. So,
absolutely.
Cool.
You probably need to head, don't you? So
I do. You guys can carry on if you like, but I need to go.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's save some of these for a second episode. Not maybe the next one, but maybe one a bit further down. Some more because I've still got quite a list here.
So,
and we should hold on.
We could dress up at these people and actually fight.
Oh, even better. Except we can't fight. We've established that already.
Yeah, we can windmill at each other.
Let's
or helicopter.
Let's So one thing we discussed before is we're going to start planning some of these podcasts. So maybe we plan
Dan,
ahead.
you're blowing people's minds here. it's going to come as a huge shock to people that this isn't intricately planned in advance.
Yeah. We will slot this all in. So I think at some point in the future we'll do another one because there's bound to be some more hanging around, and we'll probably think of more ones.
What we'll do is we'll give you a week's notice so you can get some of yours in there as well.
Very nice. Yeah, so we can read out some readers' choices. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Like, awesome. Really good fun. Lovely subject to deal with. Thank you very much.
With a conviction, Tom.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks very much for watching the stream. Thanks very much for listening to us. If you did, don't forget you can interact with us on all of our social media feeds. Just head to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter using the handle at TMTOOH.
Have we got a Blue Sky one yet?
Not yet. I'm working on it. Working on it.
And don't forget, if you head to the Instagram bio, you'll find a link to our Discord server where there's all sorts of chats and stuff like that. Do remember, we've just been dealing with some celebrity death matches. As we said, we'd love to get some of your suggestions into the next time we deal with this topic. So send them in. Use any of those handles. And you can obviously watch us on the streams. You can watch us on the live tab of our YouTube channel. Just type in Too Much Time on Our Hands. You'll find us with a purple symbol with the white game controller in the middle. That's our logo. And you can also listen to all of our podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, any other good podcatcher. You'll find the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast on there as well. So with that, there's not much else to say.
Yeah.
Dan has something else
Blue
to say.
Sky, I'll set that up and we're going to bin off Twitter because we don't really have much interaction on Twitter anyway, and also fuck Twitter. So
yeah, it's kind of. I mean, I keep calling it Twitter. It's X, and it's an absolute. It's just awful. What an awful social media platform. Yeah, so with that, no further ado. Goodbye, Russ.
Let's, boys.
Goodbye, Duncan.
Laters, handies. Thanks for watching, listening, and whatever.
Goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye. I've just found out the Onion has bought
this is fucking
conspiracy website Infowars.
Yeah, Alex Jones was ordered by the court to sell Infowars, and the Onion has bought it. And they're gonna keep it going, but with stupid stuff on it.
That's amazing.
That's fucking brilliant.
That's amazing. Okay, and on that bombshell, I am Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Goodbye, handies. And on that note, let's cue the music. Nah.